Hello, friends. How are you doing today with AI technology? Well, it's so much, isn't it? Every day morning you get up and somebody says something about AI. But do you know what is next to AI? And do you know, well, how do you survive in this era of technology? Well, we have with us the expert who is working and helping companies do wonders with their technology products. That's Nat. Welcome, Nat, to this Great People interview series.
Amazing. Thank you to meet you, my friend. Awesome. How are you doing?
Well, great, great, great. It's amazing to have you here. Um, so, Nat,
Sure.
please tell us about the technologies that you work in and the kind of work that you're doing with those technologies.
Sure. So yeah, just a bit of background about myself. I work in the kind of Web3 blockchain space. I've been working in business for a while now. And yeah, I'm working with a variety of companies in the Web3 slash blockchain slash cryptocurrency space, whichever you want to coin the term. And I run an agency called W3BTree Media, and we focus on marketing, advisory, business development, and kind of helping Series A, Series B companies in the space with their go-to-market, with their kind of overall marketing strategies. And yeah, so in terms of Web3 blockchain, it's a bit of an early time. Bitcoin's been around now for 15, 16 years, and I think slowly the world is beginning to understand it and
Yeah.
not be so unfriendly towards it. But it's essentially been a catalyst to grow this huge industry that I now work in. Various companies launching on a daily basis, raising capital, using the blockchain, using cryptocurrencies to solve real world solutions. And yeah, it's kind of the next phase of the internet. We had Web one in the 1990s when the internet came along, right? When it was kind of the information era, just information online that we could read about.
Yeah.
Web two, when kind of all these apps, consumer apps, websites, social media platforms, YouTube, and so on, kind of began to grow. And now we're at Web three, which is the kind of next evolution of the internet, where it's more about ownership. People can claim ownership of their finances, of their data. It's a more decentralized environment. You don't have to necessarily utilize banks or use banks. You can own your money and your assets yourself. You don't have to go through middlemen. And it's a bit more of like a transparent and fairer system than we have at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of largely the industry I'm working in. I'm advising various companies who are building really great real world solutions in quantum computing, in AI, utilizing blockchain. And yeah, myself and the agency as marketers, we use various tools to help us stay ahead, to help the clients we work with in their marketing.
That's amazing. Well, quantum computing, we've been hearing this for a little while, and it's supposed to be the next big wave after the current wave gets subdued with AI. Um, so, my question is, why you think the quantum computing will become the next big thing? What does it offer?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, and I'm still learning about it myself. I'm not a technology or a developer. I'm a marketer slash businessman. So one of the companies that I'm working with at the moment, they're called Nauris Protocol, and they're backed by NATO leaders, ex-chairman of the defense across various nations, and they see quantum computing as a big risk to the kind of security of industries, of nations, and just like AI, AI has its ability to unlock amazing discoveries and work that can help us, but it also has some negatives and maybe some concerning issues around it. So yeah, quantum computing enables, companies to unlock mathematical computational power that previously wasn't, being able to do. Um, and yeah, I think it's just if you look at the kind of market and the landscape which is shifting now, if you look at companies like Google, Amazon, they're all, developing, quantum computing chips. And why are they doing that? Why are, the American government and nations, ordering their agencies to have quantum computing services and security by 2030? So I think that's the kind of next phase. And we've seen it with, AI in the last years. And let's see, 3, 4 years ago, AI was just a buzzword. Everyone was
Yeah.
talking about it. What is AI? What's artificial intelligence? Until, one day everyone's using it, everyone's relying on it. There's a huge industry that's emerged. One of the biggest companies in the world, NVIDIA, who build quantum AI chips, sorry, have had a huge explosion in the last year. And now the AI industry is booming, and there's so many companies launching using AI. And again, it comes with its pros and cons. I had a discussion the other day, and we were talking about, what the world is going to look like in a few years' time. Even Elon Musk, who was one of the founders of OpenAI, ChatGPT, he seems to think that in a few years' time, everyone will just work will be optional, right? Not everyone will necessarily have to work because they'll get paid from the government because AI, robots, etc., will just do the work that humans can do. So yeah, in terms of from an entrepreneurial perspective, it provides, AI, quantum computing, all these kind of emerging technologies do provide a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurs and business minds. And it's interesting, people studying, going to university, there's a generation at the moment that are kind of studying for jobs that potentially might not exist in 5 years' time, which is kind of concerning, right? But
Yeah, it's
it's
it's fundamental to the life everywhere,
yeah,
everywhere in the world, and we're changing the basics.
yeah,
It's a major shift in the lifestyle.
for sure. Yeah, it's massive. I mean, yeah, in terms of like as an entrepreneur, it's exciting, but it's also, the world we live in at the moment can be a bit uncertain, can be a bit scary. It can be hard to, figure out what you want to do with your life, especially, as a young student or young person figuring out what they want to do. But I think as a businessman, it also enables you to be able to bring ideas to life much easier than potentially it was a few years ago, right? There's all these tools, there's all these platforms. You can develop an app now or a website by putting in a few prompts into an AI platform, and it will build you an amazing website or an amazing app that previously, even just a year or two ago, wouldn't be possible unless paying a company to build it for you, which would cost a lot of time. It would take a lot
Yeah.
of time. And now as a businessman who's quite creative, you're able to kind of do that yourself. So yeah, it comes, there's pros and cons to it. I think it is an exciting time, and there are certain industries and verticals myself that I'm focusing on that I think, becoming an expert in is going to be quite important in the years to come. So yeah,
So let's go into your core work at the moment, which is
sure.
Web3 chain. Um, and your role is consulting companies for marketing strategies, or as an agency, help them do the marketing for their product. Uh,
Yeah.
so, how different it is from the other agencies who are general marketing agencies? Um, or let me rephrase my question. Well, how marketing itself is different to technology products,
Yeah.
otherwise. So why you are specialized into this?
Yeah, it's a great question. And it's interesting because the space I work in, the marketing is a little bit different than like the traditional kind of the current internet, like products. Let's say you have a clothing product or you have a bottle water company. That's quite traditional marketing, right? You're going to utilize Instagram, Facebook, all the main channels. You're going to run advertising. You're going to, you aim to sell a product. Whereas in the industry I'm working in, it's all about kind of community building. Most companies in the space, they will have a token and they have investors as soon as they kind of go live. So immediately when a company goes live, you have a community of investors who are buying the token, who are investing, who are using the products and growing the network. It's almost kind of like community powered advertisement. So you can create incentivization programs, things like that to bring the community and engage the community. And in turn, they get rewarded and they help to grow your social media, they help to grow your kind of your brand presence online. And a lot of it is experimental marketing. I mean, there are obviously blueprints and we still utilize main social channels, Twitter, X, Instagram, all of the main ones, LinkedIn, but the strategy has to be a little bit different because you're targeting like a more niche audience, right? It's not kind of the main world like most products can target. It's people that are interested in emerging technologies, that are interested in investments. So you have to be quite strategic with how you market and how you appeal to them and how you kind of relate to them and build your brand personality and brand presence, while also building out the company and building out the roadmap and bringing the products to life and gaining users of those products. So yeah, you have to create a quite kind of strategic and new form of marketing funnel, which is slightly different to the traditional world because you have different elements to it. Like I said, you have investors, you have community members who are in your community channels on a daily basis that are talking to you, that are asking for updates, that are learning, that want to contribute, that make social media posts about you. And it's really great in that sense because you create a very nice relationship with the people who are interested in your companies. So yeah, it's quite experimental. Everything is all of the companies I work with are kind of revolutionary technologies. So it's very
Wow.
early days for them as well. So in terms of their product development and, aside from just marketing, most of the products are all kind of brand new products. They kind of haven't been done before. So there's a process where you have to test the market. You have to kind of do beta testing. You have to use your community to help test your products. And then you can scale it and grow and develop it with their feedback in mind. So yeah, it's a lot of it is like you're doing it for the first time and you're like, okay, let's see how people respond to this. Let's see how people use it. And then you kind of go from there and until it kind of really sticks. So yeah, it is a lot different to the traditional space, and it does require a different kind of marketing business brain to grasp the whole kind of marketing funnel. But yeah, it's great. It keeps you on your toes.
Quite an innovative space, as you said, and
Yeah,
the product is new. The market that it addresses is probably not very well identified. Um, the problem has been identified, but not necessarily which audience is likely to get attracted is not identified, or it's experimental, as you said.
yeah.
In this case, as a marketeer, you know, what are those ingredients that you use, which can probably help the audience as well to understand that, if you are doing this kind of marketing,
Yeah.
what is it that you need as your fundamental ingredient or ingredients?
Yeah, a great question again. I mean, I think it always starts with, the problem slash solution of what a company is actually doing, for people to understand it, understand whether it's relevant to them, whether it's something they would be interested in either investing in or using. Um, there's one company I'm working with at the moment, and they're aiming to solve water scarcity around the world. And they're doing this by building wells across different ecosystems, and they're utilizing the blockchain technology as a token, water token, so that all of their water sources from A to B until the water gets bottled is completely transparent in the supply chain. So you can see as an investor, the water's in the well, it's getting picked up, it's going to from A to B until the water eventually reaches stores, and then you can buy. So, that is very, very niche, and people understand that and they appreciate that. But I think regardless of the problem solution, you still have to spend a lot of time to get your education out there, right, and raise the awareness.
Yeah,
So you can do this with a range of, whether you're using press, whether you're writing articles online, whether you're growing SEO, whether you're using video content, working with, influencers to promote your brand. There's a range of kind of ingredients, like you said, to put together to create, a nice recipe of growth. And yeah, ultimately it depends on, getting traction, what works, what is sticking in the market, and then hitting hard on that. It's kind of like boxing, right? You're going to jab,
yeah,
jab, jab. You keep jabbing away until sometimes you land an uppercut. And
yeah.
that uppercut will, have a great effect in your growth and your audience understanding. So yeah, a range of different marketing kind of ingredients that you can deploy to grow a brand. And in this space, you're doing that. There is a blueprint there. There's a way in which you work with certain type of people, you work with certain type of influencers, press, PR companies. You run events to speak to your community, to speak to your investors. And a lot of it is about consistency, right? Over time, slowly, your
Yeah.
audience is growing. Yeah, there's no, number one kind of strategy that works. You just have to be quite adaptable. I think not just necessarily in this space, but in all kind of business space, you have to be able to adapt and see what's working, see what's not working, and test and retest and keep, hitting hard at what's working. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well, and uh, looking at what you're doing, it's some amazing work, and you're dealing with the innovators of the technology, which is fantastic and satisfying. At the same time, as far as your agency's growth is concerned, what are your plans for next 12 months to 3 years? Where do you see
Um,
your agency?
yeah, I mean, it's hard to think more than a few months in this space, honestly, because things just move so quickly, and you never know what opportunity might come up. You never know, sometimes you might plan for a campaign or something to launch in a month, and it ends up being 6, 7 months or a year, just because things take time to develop. So yeah, I'm quite happy in the area I'm at right now, focusing, helping, early stage startups with their growth, and contributing to revolutionary technology that's hopefully going to change the world for the better.
Wow,
And yeah, continue growing, continue gaining kind of the results. I still have much to learn myself. I'm 26, so I'm still not an expert yet. But the results we're having, the company is having, are really great, and it's an exciting time.
fantastic. And if you were to grow your agency, say, three times in next 1 or 2 years or 3 years, whatever that might take, um, what do you see would be the challenges that you will have to overcome so that you can achieve your revenue growth, which is, as I said, three times the current revenue?
Yeah. Um, I mean, it's a lot about adaptability, right? And seeing what opportunities are coming, understanding the trends, understanding that you're going to have to provide results to your companies and clients, and being extremely dedicated to that. And yeah, like the as we've been discussing about AI and all these tools, things move so quickly. So, myself, I'm having to keep learning new tools, stay on top of, certain things that I can use in my day to day to speed things up, because the space is moving very quickly and you have to be able to keep up. So I think that that's super important to continue learning, not being comfortable.
Yeah.
And then, as the results come, as growth comes, more opportunities will arise. And I think, yeah, you just have to stay kind of focused.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I think it's amazing to see that you're helping the technology innovation, and how that innovation would reach the masses through your marketing, which is amazing. And well, it's always great to be surrounded by the people who are developing these solutions which are yet to be launched, and how people see the world, you know, in a different way, from their own perspectives, before the masses get an idea of what's coming next. So
For
that's
sure.
very fortunate position to be in. It's great to have you here, and sharing your insights. Thank you very much for your time.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. I really enjoy the podcast and the talks you have on with your guests. So yeah, we can do it again anytime.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Definitely.